Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to today's webinar, Turning Support Data into Strategy for Trends Shaping the Future of Customer Experience. Today's a very exciting day for us because this is the initial launch of our Client Success webinar series. This is the start of something that will continue, and every 1 to 2 months we'll be offering another webinar, and these webinars are focused exclusively on our clients. We'll cover a variety of topics including thought leadership, industry trends. We will be profiling different client success stories, and many other topics to come. So appreciate all of you who have joined us live today. For those of you who are not able to join us live but are watching, thanks for taking time out to watch the recording. This is going to be a pretty exciting day, and I'm excited to share what data we have to present from our first initial webinar here. This is a part of a series that we will be developing for client success. We wanted to start with a monthly or every other month webinar. That will then evolve into a community and customer advisory boards and other new initiatives that we will be launching out of our client success team here. And so to those of you who joined at the very beginning, thank you. We appreciate your participation. Know that this webinar is being recorded, so we'll be sharing the recording with you afterwards. At any point in here, if you've got a question, a comment, please put it in the chat. We'll be monitoring those, and then we've left time at the end to cover those. For those of you who are joining in North America, I want to say Happy Veterans Day. If you are somebody who has served, thank you for your service and all you've done for this country. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Santi Vinicota. Santi is our Senior Director of Managed Services here at Servion. She leads our end-to-end support for our enterprise contact center environments. And she does that by combining her engineering depth with a commitment to service excellence. Santi has over 23 years of experience in contact center technologies, including cloud integrations, agile development, and she's built and managed high-performing global technical teams, which is a key part to today's conversation. This is not just focused on any one region. This reflects our global client base. Before joining Servion, she served as a development manager at Eaton Technologies, where she designed hybrid cloud contact center solutions using Cisco and leading complex integration with companies like Salesforce, Google, and other CRM systems. Before that, earlier in her career, she had senior roles at Symantec, Wipro, Marconi Communications, among others, and she specialized in voice technology, omni-channel integrations, and DevOps-led delivery. Those of us who have the joy and the pleasure of working with Santi every day know that she's very much a hands-on, she's a wonderful coach and mentor, and she excels at being able to translate your business needs into scalable technical solutions. And many of you have met and worked with her and know that she's trusted for her work and her partnership across all of our customers and clients, regardless of whether they are in North America, APAC, EMEA, or any other part of the world. So thank you, Santi, for joining us today. I'm excited to hear what you have to present in here in just a couple of slides. But before we get into that, actually, Santi, let me give you a chance to say hello. I don't want to blow past that.
Not at all, not at all. Thank you so much, Mike. Good morning, good evening, all. Yeah, please proceed, Mike.
All right. So today's agenda has 4 parts. The first thing we want to do is talk about Engage 360. Some of you may have joined our webinar. We had one initially in July, and then our public launch was in September. But if you missed it, I just want to connect the dots between what you may have heard as Day 2 or Managed Services or Engage 360. So we're going to start with a little clarification there, and then we're going to get into the data. This data is just fantastic. Our team, led by Santi, has analyzed over the last 12 months nearly 100,000 support tickets. And the trends I think you'll find will be pretty interesting, along with what are we doing and what should you be doing to make your platforms run more efficiently. And then from that, we've extracted 4 key trends that we want to share with you. And as I said earlier, we'll save some time at the end for Q&A. For those of you who are not familiar with the amazing work that Santi and her team do every single day, I mean, these numbers are just staggering. In the last 12 months, we've supported over 3.5 billion omni-channel interactions. We're very proud of the fact that 25% of our clients have been with us for more than 5 years. We've got a follow the sun model that I think all of you are familiar with and have enjoyed. We're up to date on our security components, and Santi's going to talk a little bit more about that later. And we're really proud of our CSAT. Almost a 9 and an NPS of 72 puts us really in a rare category in terms of CSAT and NPS scores. And then this section in the middle here that not a lot of people know about how many amazing knowledge articles, over 5,000 knowledge articles are available, including over 1,700 standard operating procedures. And then I'll finish with going all the way to the right. In the last 12 months, we've had a 100% response rate in meeting our 100% SLA in meeting our response times, 97% for restoration, and over 99.54 for system uptime. So we're going to dive into more details about where these tickets come from, what the categories are, but just wanted to start by setting a foundation for just how impressive it is, the amount of work that Santi and her team do every single day. I want to clarify a couple of different terms that you have heard, whether it's Servion support or managed services or day two or Engage 360. Anyone who partners with one of the major platform partners, whether it's Cisco or Genesys or NICE or any one of the others, knows that those organizations do provide a level of support. But what we've learned is that in that model, there are gaps. Those organizations, and whether you call them a platform partner or an OEM, they're really focused. If you just choose to partner with them for support, they're going to be really focused on their application. And, does the application fixing any bugs, uptime, those types of things. But as a result, it does shift more of the burden to you and your team. And so that's certainly something that we've seen. We've had many clients who maybe started off getting support from one of those big platform partners and have migrated over to us because they found that it was just too much of a burden on their team, or that the platform partners were really too focused on their platform, not looking at the overall environment, the other integrations. And so that's where we come in. Our value add and our differentiation is to go well beyond those platform partners. They were built to create really innovative software solutions, but they're just not designed to provide the type of white glove, world-class service that we do every day here at Servion. And so we've got the ability with our support models to coordinate with multiple vendors and partners. We can give you, because we know your environment, we can give you guidance on the new features and functionality. We are intimately familiar with the licenses and whether there's overages and just overall your environment and your configuration. And we recognized that the support model that we had in place previously needed a refresh. And so we spent almost 9 months looking at what we were offering, what their industry was offering, we talked to a lot of our clients and customers to ask them what they needed. And all of that work resulted in the launch of what is our new Engage 360. So going forward, we will sunset the term managed services. We will sunset day two, and we are going to refer to the work we do once you are live as Engage 360. Some of you have already migrated to the new Engage 360. Others at the time of renewal, we will be having a conversation about moving you to the Engage 360, but it's much more reflective of what today's clients need in terms of support. We've got multiple tiers so we can meet you where you're at. We are moving beyond just tracking tickets and resolution and focusing on KPIs that matter to you and outcomes. We've got audits, we've got quarterly business reviews. And so today is just a bit of a preview of what Engage 360 is. But when you see that through the rest of this presentation and going forward, know that that is the new way to describe the elevated level of support and expertise we're bringing to you and your teams and your environments. So with that, enough about Engage 360. We're going to learn, more about what it means for you. But we want to start with a poll question. First one of the day. I think we've got 4 of these polls today. And the first question for you is, what issue, if you can just pick one, generates the most tickets for your contact center in a given month? We'll just give everybody about 15 to 20 seconds to click on whichever item you think is the biggest issue or challenge, and then we'll check out the results. About 5 more seconds. I can see the answers coming in. Looks like we'll close the poll here and see the results. Hopefully everybody can see those. So we've got agent applications being number 1. We've got some reporting, recording, routing, API, but agent applications. Okay, that's good to know. Shanti, this will be really interesting to see how it compares to the data that we see from our support tickets. And so with that, I am going to hand it over to Santi to take us through what are the 4 primary trends shaping the experience, as well as some of the raw data.
Thank you so
Santi?
very much, Mike.
Yes.
Good morning, good evening, all. And thank you for joining the webinar. And even I would like to take a moment to thank all of you for participating in the poll. This feedback is incredibly valuable to us. And it will be very interesting to see how the poll is matching with the analysis, with the trend analysis we did as well. Shortly, we will talk about all of that one. And we realize while driving adoption and expanding feature functionality are very critical, it's equally important to ensure meticulous day-to operations efficiency, right? It's equally important to drive having a meticulous day-to operations, which really lay the foundation for a successful and a sustainable future. So what we did was we aimed within us to conduct a trend analysis ourselves to identify what are the key pain points that our customers are experiencing. So we can shape our strategic initiatives that truly deliver values. And these are the 4 trends that we arrived at based on the analysis. In a moment, we will understand all that. What is the data? What was the data behind this and how we analyzed it? We'll just have a very quick glance on the 4 trends that we got here. Proactive monitoring. So the first trend is on proactive monitoring. So anticipating the issues before they affect customers. So not just monitoring what the issue is going to be, where the issue is, and how quickly we can fix the issue, how quickly we can make any of the service proactive. So it will be very interesting to see how there are initiatives behind this that we came up with. And the second trend talks about transparent reporting. We understand it's extremely crucial, right, to have an adequate, accurate data of reporting and the availability of the reporting platform for our end customers to take strategic decisions for their contact centers. So it's a must to have the 100% availability of the reporting. So this is second in the trend. And we will also see interesting data behind it and how we have initiatives behind that to make our clients' jobs very easy. And non-negotiable, secure, and compliant delivery. And this is the baseline. This is a must. This is definitely not a value add. This is foundational. And I will also take all of you through very quickly through the strong security framework that Servion has and the level of commitment we have around the secure and compliant delivery. You will see all that in a moment again. And efficiency through automation, right? This is a must. This is day in and day out. Every operation that can be, every task that can be automated should be and will be automated. So we can simplify operations, accelerate resolution, not to probably take the human touch out of it, but we might as well have that human touch where the real need is. So efficiency through automation, everything that can be automated keeps on going into the bucket of the automation, and the result of the automation is the operational efficiency. Now, we spoke about the 4 trends very quickly, and how did we arrive at these trends? So that will be the interesting part, right? So yeah, Mike, next page. Correct. And Mike said it in the beginning a little bit. So we need data. For everything, we need an input. In order to do the data analysis, we needed to have the input. So we thought, where do we get the data from, right? What more credible and compelling data that we can have for the analysis than the 100,000 tickets of data that we have in our database, which our accounts across the globe, which our clients across the globe raised over a period of 1 year. So we have a total of 100,000 tickets within us. And yes, These are a combination of service requests and incidents, which means a service request is something where there is a ask for a request or a planned activity, and where is a request for some modification and configurations. Whereas an incident is something, it's an unwanted disruption. Something is broken, something needs to be fixed. So we have a combination of requests and we have a combination of incidents. So we thought, why don't we do the analysis with all this incredible amount of data that we have? Before we get to the data, right, I just very quickly want to flash, when you see for these 100,000 tickets, our severity 1 and severity 2 are around 9%. This reinforces and this demonstrates also, I would like to just take a moment to explain, reinforces and demonstrates our commitment to have the system uptimes and the operational efficiency and the platform stability. So now let's get into the tickets, and now let's get into the data that we arrived by analyzing the tickets.
Yeah, and just one comment here, Shanti. I love the fact that the critical tickets don't even show up on the graph, right? Less than 75 tickets out of 100,000 are P1 or level 1. That's good for us, and that's good for our clients as well. So appreciate you sharing the data and the transparency there.
Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah. So this is almost self-explanatory, right? So, okay, and I explained we have service requests and we have incidents. We have taken all the incidents and we grouped them. Let us bucketize them. Let's put them in groups. And what came out of the analysis is the highest number of tickets are around API issues and API integrations or the routing failures because of API issues, right? And we will see more on what I mean by that, and then what initiatives that we are trying to get out of it, get from that, right? And the second highest incidents that you can see there, right? And then 30% of the issues are around APIs, and the next highest number of issues are around the report and dashboards. So which kind of matching with the poll as well. And then the call recording issues and the reporting issues and the agent login issues and recording issues. Okay, we thought the incident ticket analysis says these are the issues. And we also wanted to do the analysis on where we were spending most of the efforts, under which bucket we are spending most of the effort. So we went to do the effort analysis, and interestingly, the effort analysis shows to fix the issues around reports and dashboards are almost twice the amount of the time that takes to fix the issues and APIs. So this two-level effort analysis reinforced the need, and it gave us some strategic initiatives. Oh, we need to do something about both of them and more, and the ones above. Right. And before we just get into the initiatives and discussing other things, we also have another set of tickets, which are service requests. So we thought, why don't we do analysis on service requests as well? And when we did analysis around service request, as you can see here, 50% of the requests are around configurations. So what are these configurations? We deep dived into looking at what these configurations are. So the configurations are agent ID creations, deletions, phone configurations. So creating an agent profile and campaigns for outbound campaigns, and creating any recording profiles, reporting profiles, skills. So all these are the prime candidates for automation. So where we can boost efficiency, because if you look at the next slide on how much effort we spent on them, it's huge. So these all became the prime components for automation. So we have this incredible data within us. We have seen where the maximum amount of issues are lying, where the maximum amount of tickets are getting raised, and then what do we need to do with this data? We came up with a trend analysis, but how do we fix them? What do we do? What initiatives we can take? So we will slowly dive into that data.
You bet. Thank you. It's really interesting to see the raw data and even how it compares to the original or the first poll that we had. And so now it's time for our second poll question of the day. And we'll see how this, Santi, compares with the different trends that we're going to explore in a bit more detail. But the second question is tied to some of these themes. What's the biggest barrier to achieving consistent CS excellence excellence in your organization. We talked a little bit about APIs and integration. So is it disconnected systems and data? Is it limited automation? Is it the lack of visibility into the performance, delays in actually identifying and detecting these issues? Or a fifth option, which is not related to the technology, but it's more the staffing and resource constraints. So we'll give everybody about 15 seconds to 20 seconds to put their answer. We'll close the poll, and then Santi, we will see how this aligns with what we found and analyzed from our data as well. Appreciate the votes coming in. About 5 more seconds, and then we'll close it. Then we will go to our first trend. Okay, let's look at the results. And you know what, Santi, it kind of aligns with what we were saying. The data disconnection, integrations, APIs, all of that looks like it's number one, followed closely by automation, lack of visibility, and delayed issue detection. I think that you're going to find definitely some similarities between what we found in the data and what came through in the polls.
Absolutely.
Now let's go a little deeper into the different trends. And the first one you mentioned was the APIs, the integration, all the time we spend on that. I'll send it back over to you, Santi.
Thank you so much, Mike, again. That's right. Yeah, we have seen the maximum number of issues are around API issues, API and the integrations around APIs, right? So how do we enhance API stability? So where can APIs go wrong, right? So let's look at a very small use case when, let's say, a customer is calling for a credit card query into a bank and see the set of hops for a successful customer journey. Let's see how the customer journey can be, right? So somebody calls in for a credit card query, and first he needs to be authenticated. So the authentication needs to be compared for the validity of the data. And then there might be some information that is required to be pulling from a CRM in order to get the details out of it, details about him. And upon that, he may be a priority customer. He needs to be routed to a certain department, certain agent, and there may be case that needs to be logged and some notifications that needs to be sent. So when you look at this customer journey, right, every hop of the customer journey needed an integration between two systems for the effective routing of it. Mike, if you could please go to the next one. Right. So this is what we are talking about APIs, right? This API acts as a bridge in order to have a complete customer journey, in order to have an effect routing for a better decision making. We may need to fetch information from adjacent applications, and any failure, any of the hops would have resulted in a poor customer experience, poor agent experience, and in not so satisfying customer journey, right? And just interestingly, right, we are the contact center application developers and we maintain the contact center platforms for you. We may not be the ones directly managing the APIs. We may not be the ones directly managing the end systems where we need those integrations from. So we could wait and the API team come back to us saying that there is a problem with our API, wait for it to be fixed. Or because our contact center applications are equally affected by the failures of the APIs, why don't we monitor, and not just monitor, why don't we put a threshold when something is failing around the APIs? Why don't we proactively inform that there is a disconnect and this is where the disconnect is? Can the corresponding team fix it? If it on our side, let's fix it. So this will drastically reduce the mean time to identify and fix the issues and improves the collaboration. And this tool will have a lot more functionality to be able to define the thresholds, and it is going to have an alerting mechanism as well. So in order to notify the respective stakeholders. So we are in the final stages of testing the tool, and we will be deploying to the customers very shortly. And I'm sure in a month's time, we will have all the performance and other metrics around the tool. So please stay tuned for an exclusive webinar about this particular tool. So I hope it's very interesting, and then people and everybody will be looking forward to having it. And we are very excited to have this tool in production. And in addition to that, we also spoke about another trend, and we also spoke about the importance of having an adequate, accurate, and 100% available reports and the reporting tool in place, right? And it's extremely crucial. We understand that for business KPIs, for the contact center customers to be able to take the decisions. And also, as we have seen, the effort taken to fix the issues around reporting and the dashboards are higher. Why? Because a few times the data may not be coming straight to us. We may have to join a few tables or from few platforms even, to get the meaningful reports out of it, to get the meaningful data out of it, for the data to be made sense in order to take strategic decisions around that. Right? Maybe the out of the box tools, maybe the out of the box reporting tools may not have all of it, or it might need customization in and around. So we thought, why don't we develop a tool ourselves? So we developed an in-house reporting tool. We also have named it OmniPulse IQ, right? Which not only has the reporting functionality, we hope to think it will have quite a bit of a self-service functionality for the supervisors also, how good it would be. And we have the beta version already deployed in Genesis App Foundry. We are very proud to say it is undergoing testing as we speak, and very shortly it will get into the production and it will take a place in the App Foundry. And we have every intention to extend it for all the other cloud-based solutions in phase 1 going forward. And also, can I please request you to stay tuned again to have an exclusive webinar about this tool with all the metrics around it and all the performance details around it. So the trend 1 and trend 2 actually paved way for building the tools in order to improve the operational efficiency.
Yeah, Shanti, this is just really helpful to hear because in my role, I have the joy of talking to different clients and customers every single day. And so often reporting comes up as well as, what we know when the API issues happen and it results in an outage, it's really frustrating. But the reporting one is a very popular topic as well, whether they're on-prem or on the cloud, or they're talking about a migration and they want to make sure that they have access to the historical data. And so, I hear it from them. It showed up in our poll. It's what the service tickets and the incidents are aligned to. So if you are feeling as if there's a way to improve reporting or you wish reporting could be better, you are not alone. It certainly is captured it reflects or is reflected in the data as well.
Now we are coming to trend 3, and then as I kept saying, right, we also said in the beginning, it is the baseline. It is the baseline. It is foundational, and security is not a compromising, and security has no place for compromising, and it's not a value add. And these are non-negotiable in Servion as well. And to validate our posture, we recently engaged with an independent audit firm to conduct a very comprehensive and commercial exercise, right? Commercial audit. And we reinforced our framework, all the 5 components that constitute the framework. And based on the audit outcome, we even tightened a lot of processes, and we are ISO 27000 certified. And as you can see, right, we have tightened our framework. So security is integrated in every SDLC phase, in every part of the SDLC phase, and we have even monitoring enabled and proactive monitoring enabled for all the tasks that day-to-day tasks we perform as well, and continuous tuning around it, whether it's a risk management and a data loss protection, and what are the business continuity processes we need to have. So regular audits and reviews that are in place. And even this morning, right, Mike, we had a cyber war drill, right? As if somebody is having the threats, and then how can we detect the threats? And we have refresher courses being given to them. So this is Servion is absolutely committed to have a secure framework that you can see all these components. We have totally tightened around that one.
Yeah, it was interesting timing, right? The day that we're presenting, we just happened to have a drill, pure coincidence, but that our entire leadership team was on. And it's helpful to know this may not be something that comes through in our daily work, but we know how important security and privacy and compliance is to you and your teams and your organization, and want to continue to remind you about what investments we're making on our side to treat your data as if it's our own. So thank you. And I think there is one more trend that kind of is a bit more of a global trend, but Santi, I'll turn it back over to you to take us through some of the other automation and solutions that we are putting in place to improve efficiency, performance, and satisfaction.
Yeah, absolutely. We have also seen in the service request trend how important it is for us to do automation, where humans can spend their effective time on the things that matter the most. And while automation is equally important to us, here I'm just sharing a very short summary of automation, right? There were definitely more. The very recent automation that are applied to the critical processes that we have, and on the critical components that with the scope of efficiency gains, right? And some of them really yielded very good results. Even we have an excellent feedback from customers, and we are enhancing further on the automation that we have. We are making them like small tools. And I would like to talk about, in the interest of time, right, probably the top two. I would like to give small example about them. So license utilization and overages, right? So when you are on a cloud contact center, right, it may stem from that system's flexibility in automatically letting the customer use, because it works on the subscription and usage methodology. So it will allow to add licenses, it will allow to have more usage, and then it won't stop anybody from using it, especially when you are using cloud contact centers, right? However, at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, you may be surprised with a billing on overages. So what we did was we built a tool internally in order to monitor the licenses and overages. We can set the thresholds and it will proactively send notifications so that, clients can be aware of it and they can normalize it. And obviously when you are well aware of what you are using, there will be no billing surprises, and this proactive communication is tremendously helping clients as well. And the second one, very interesting one, what I would like to talk about is automatic call flow documentation generator. We all know we get so many change requests, so many enhancements, small but effective or big, any of them, right? Day in and day out. So we all get to, okay, there are changes, there are enhancements. We'll enhance the code, we'll do the testing, we'll implement in production. A few times what might happen is the corresponding documentation might take a backseat. So this might lead to having a very enhanced code and probably an outdated documentation. And this, as small as it sounds, but it's really a frustrating thing, right? For the future enhancements, when one would like to look at the documentation and not having the updated version, how chaotic and confusing it can be. Then we thought, what if with the click of a command or a button, we can have the call flow documentation generated from the latest active code that is in the system. So that tremendous, which we did, and then it is undergoing more enhancements, and we are getting good feedback from clients as well. And we are making more changes. We are enhancing further onto that, and we have already have results, right? The accuracy of the documentation obviously is 98% because this document is getting generated from the latest code that is in the system. And imagine the tremendous amount of effort that it saves. You might as well spend time writing one more automation code or having another change request or implementing another enhancement, as opposed to sending time on updating the document. We are also enhancing further with very, very interesting things. The new call flows as well will have automatically get into a shape of a Visio, so which we will present in the near future webinars. So there are very interesting things going around in the automation arena of Servion also. We are very excited. As Mike said, it's very exciting phase for us. So
yeah, thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank you so very much, Mike. And then, with these 4 trend analyses and strategic initiatives, right, I am extremely confident we will build even stronger client relationships and flawless day 2. So when we meet for the regular cadence with the clients, right, so rather than talking about the challenges, we might as well spend time on adoption and future feature integrations, and spend time on some things that are really give values, as opposed to concentrating on challenges. Thank you so much, Mike. I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, thank you. And I was sorry to interrupt you there. I was just excited to point out the 2 examples that you shared, right? License utilization overages. As you said, nobody likes to have surprises and invoices and bills that are higher than they expected at the end of the month or end of the quarter. And for us to be able to stay on top of that and proactively notify them and help them adjust the business as necessary to avoid those surprises is just a huge boost to the customer satisfaction. And the second example, just improving the accuracy, but thinking about what automation was able to do to eliminate almost 3,000 manual hours that otherwise would have been required to map those call flows. Incredible cost savings. I can imagine how much time, not only cost, but in terms of labor, but also the time that an automated solution was able to pull that data together and really condense what it took to go from their current state to the future state. So thank you for sharing sharing those two examples. I know there's many others. It was probably hard to pick just those two. But with that, we've covered the 4 trends. And now we're going to move into our final 2 poll questions for this webinar and then straight into Q&A. And so quick time check, just letting you know that we've just got about 2 more minutes here, and then we're going to get into Q&A. The first question is, you heard Shanti talk about the work we are doing behind the scenes, but you may not be that familiar with it. We want to know, how confident are you that we are doing everything possible to protect your data and our data? And so the question is, are you not confident as a 1 or very confident as a 5? And we'll just give everybody about 10 more seconds to answer this poll, and then we'll go on to our final poll of the day. Okay. Looks like we've got most, if not all, of our answers. Thank you to those who participated, and really excited to see and happy that our messaging is coming through and our certifications are meaningful and that we're doing the right things.
Thank you.
Appreciate that feedback, and congrats to you and the team, Shanti.
Thank
and
you
our
so
final poll question for today, poll question number 4, and then we'll move into Q&A, is this one's a little bit more looking forward, as we're always thinking about different topics for future client success webinars. Omnichannel is a topic and a theme that comes up quite frequently. And so we want to know, in our work with you and your teams, we're thinking about digital channels. Do you feel we help you adopt and use those digital channels effectively for customer interactions? If you think we're doing a great job of letting you know of all the features and functionality and options that are available, then give us a 5. If you're thinking there's an opportunity to do more, and I'd like to engage and I need more education, or it's something that we should talk about, then maybe the score is a little bit less. But everybody just take about 10 more seconds, let us know how that is, and this will help influence one of the topics we're considering, which is omnichannel, for a future webinar. All right, and it looks like pretty much everybody's got a chance to weigh in, and you can see there that overall we're doing well, but there's still a little bit of room for us as an organization to make everybody aware of the digital channels and all of the benefits that come with different channels and an omni-channel model. Wonderful. Well, thank you for participating in those 4 polls. Valuable data, in addition to everything that Shanti shared with us, and just the incredible amount of data. To be able to look at 100,000 tickets in just the last 12 months. As we said earlier, these are the 4 takeaways for today. Number 1, the number and the volume of tickets we get related to APIs. Not only, and we didn't sit back and say that this is just a customer or client's responsibility. We're proactively building solutions to monitor those as well. The second was, you saw the data related to reporting. Reporting, regardless of the platform, regardless of whether you're on-prem or in the cloud, continues to be an opportunity for those platform partners to evolve, and we're doing the same thing to try to fill those gaps. We shared some of the things we are doing around security and compliance. And finally, a couple of key examples related to operational efficiency, cost reduction, that comes from some of the automation that we are building into our Engage 360 programs as well. So thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate the time, and we will just take a couple of questions. Let's look at what's come in. Thank you to those who've submitted a question. And I'm looking at the clock, Shanti. I think we've got about time for, let's do 3, and I'm going to go look through the list here. The first one's for you, okay, and it has to do with reporting. The question is, you mentioned that the reporting tool is solutions being built for the cloud. Is it platform agnostic, and is there plans, or is there an option for those of us who are still in an on-prem environment?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike, for the question. Yeah, while it is platform agnostic, in phase 1, we are definitely concentrating it to be definitely taking place in Genesis App Foundry and extending it to the other cloud platforms. So phase 1 will be totally around concentrating on the clients and onboarding on the clients the maximum to the extent possible. And then on-prem at this point, while the tool has the capacity of doing it, capability of having it, but we probably will consider that in phase 2.
Okay, thank you. And I'll take this second question. It has to do with your innovation and our automation slide. You listed a number of solutions that we are working on. And the question is, how do I learn more about those different applications? And is there a fee? So the first answer would be, reach out to whoever your client success representative is, or your technical account manager, or your account executive, and they can give you more information on some of those different solutions and where they are in the process. And many of those some will come with an additional fee, some will not. Some will be included at no charge based on the various tiers of the Engage 360 model that you support to, or that you subscribe to or have purchased. So lots of options there. Again, just reach out to your contact and we can get you more details on that. And then our final question for the day, Shanti, and then it looks like we've got to wrap it up, is you talked about the proactive monitoring tool. What should I be doing with my team or my IT team to monitor APIs?
There are a few ways, right? If already the IT teams have the monitoring tools, we can also collaborate with them to add ourselves to the monitoring tool, our IT team, and we can help them so that we get the alerts from them as well. Or if they would like to use our tool for that one, we will also collaborate with their IT teams so that, we probably need to have some ports getting opened. So there is a collaboration and communication needed between the IT teams. We can definitely help them for them to do that. And it all depends on the particular need. Would they like to extend the tool that probably they might have for us to have the alerts, or vice versa, or the other way around?
I love that. We're not going to leave them alone, right? We're going to partner, we're going to collaborate with them to help ensure the environment's as stable and scalable as possible.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, thank you, Santi, for presenting today. Incredible data. I look forward to working with you again on another future webinar. To those who've joined live, to those who are watching the recording, thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. And you should make a note that on December 11th is what we're targeting for our next client success webinar. The topic will be, we're finalizing the details, but it looks like we will be getting one of our wonderful clients to come tell their story about how they migrated from on-prem to the cloud and what they learned, what were the surprises, what would they do different. I think that's going to be quite relevant and informative, but more details to come on that soon. With that, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so very much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.